Tuesday, motoring sport. On Thursday, we have boxing for you. Saturday mornings, we have a variety of sports. Also, Saturday afternoon, and then on Sunday afternoon, we have football. So we're trying to keep up to date with all the sports fans and bring you a little bit of what you like. But this evening, it's motor racing, and we're happy to be with you once again for another edition of this program. Now, tonight, we'll be seeing and hearing a lot about the Yokohama four-wheel drive rally, which took place over 2 days, last Saturday and Sunday. The Thundersport 2 event from the last Dover meet will also be highlighted. In the pit stop, we'll be talking with some of the ladies who are actively involved in what is considered a man's sport. Don't like to say that too often because I don't like to think that I'm a chauvinist. Anyhow, these and more after this commercial break from our associate sponsor, Unimotors Limited. On your agenda. Thrills and excitement that one would expect from such a grueling event. The Yokohama four-wheel drive, a new type of event in Jamaica, all-terrain that is, took place last Saturday and Sunday. Our producer, Winston Casanova, traveled with the competitors, and he has some of the highlights for us.
The new Yokohama Tire Center on Constant Spring Road was buzzing with excitement from as early as 6 o'clock in the morning as drivers, navigators and timekeepers gathered for the start of this exciting event. The competitors, accompanied by their support crew, immediately after arriving, got down to work, making all their last-minute checks and preparing the vehicles for the tough and grueling journey covering approximately 265 miles and passing through the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Mary, St. Catherine, and Portland. In the meantime, the organizing team, led by Rennie McDaniel, was busy making final checks on their route maps to ensure properly instructed. The drivers we spoke with all sounded quite confident and well prepared for the event. Lily Chen and Carol Lawrence made up the only female team. This team of Derek and Gordon McDowell had everyone wondering. First of the 23 teams left the Yokohama Tire Center on Constant Spring Road at approximately 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. A small crowd comprising the competitors' relatives and friends, along with members of the press, sponsors, representatives, and other curious onlookers, gathered to witness the start. Apart from providing some fun and excitement for the competitors and their families, the event was also used to raise funds for the Bellevue Hospital. The latest report we have is that contributions and pledges have totaled more than $12,000. The teams competed in 3 classes: expert, intermediate, and novice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Competitors in the Harborview area. Teamwork was the order of the day for these guys, as they double-checked to make sure they were going in the right direction. That's all right. On the St. Thomas Road, we came upon the first incident of the rally. How has things been going since morning?
Okay, pretty good. It's been quite eventful. A few people have missed a secret control near Abbeydale Road, but we had an interesting situation up that hill there. The opening marshal got stuck, so we've had to reroute the competitors around that hill, and they're coming along the main road. They're going to be checking in here at time control 3. One person has gone through about 3 minutes early, I don't know why. The rest of them are coming in now.
How will this rerouting affect the overall rally?
No, it won't affect the results in any way because there will be no penalties for that. It merely means that they would have missed some interesting road, but they wouldn't have missed anything, and there's no penalties for rerouting. The rally is still on schedule, still on time.
Now, is there a possibility that we might encounter situations like the one up top there?
Certainly. I was going to tell the tractor man to try and follow the rally because we'll probably need him again.
The drivers came in for their first time check.
Very good, Lawrence. Press on.
So far it's quite easy. The roads are not that rough and there's no really hard navigation up to this point.
Well, so far my crew is doing very well, because we haven't missed any route checks or time checks yet. So right now we're running okay. We are on time so far.
David, how things been going with you so far?
Very smooth, very, very smooth. We made a little mistake earlier, a little slow, but everything very smooth.
Why are you stopping here now before going up to the checkpoint?
We have a certain time to, you see the time check up there, we have a certain time to go in, and we're waiting till that time. We're a little early, and we're just checking everything, and then we'll go in on the right time.
Spectators were on hand to wave the competitors along, and in some instances, offer direction. On our first venture inland, we came upon a route check. What exactly is your role here?
Well, we have a road check here to see that the vehicles make the right approach. So if they make a wrong approach, we mark the wrong approach. And here is a two-way traffic, so you have to caution them that when they're going up, you have to look out for the vehicles coming back down.
How have you been finding things this morning?
Well, so far, there's only one vehicle have a wrong approach. Most of them are coming in on time. So far, they're going good. And we have seen about 14 cars already.
Back on the main road, the competitors mingled with the normal Saturday morning traffic. Occasionally, some crews had to make a stop for some minor adjustments. This particular section of the course provided the first real grueling test for the vehicles and also brought out the experience and skill of the drivers.
And you're unfamiliar with the rules, don't test. If you think that you are fit to run my race, it's a game that leaves us to my face, don't test. Colder people know that I'm the god of the town. When I'm in the area, I don't mess around. I don't waste time, 'cause I fall climb, don't test. Come on!
inexperienced rally competitors, it was a matter of going through the motions. The ladies also showed that they too could deal with the situation.
To run my brains, and you cannot keep up to my pace. Don't test. All the people know that I'm the son of the town. When I'm in the area, I don't mess around. I don't waste time to dust or climb. Don't test. Come on! Everyone around you knows that I am the best, cause I took off the head from a Superman test.
The team of Derek and Gordon McDowell needed more than an oar and life jackets to deal with their predicament. Route organizer Rennie McDaniel was quite pleased with the way the drivers had responded to the route.
So far we've had one small section that I've had to reroute through because rains just made the road impassable. And it's unfortunate because I'd have caught a few competitors with that. But we had to reroute around there. Right now they're about 5 minutes late into this TC, and I suspect that that's a series of route checks in Lloyd's that have caught them. We have quite a few novices, and that pleases me because the rally was really designed for family and novices to come out and enjoy a day of motoring, well, 2 days of motoring. And quite a few of them have taken advantage of it, and I'm very happy for that.
The next stage of the rally took the drivers through the cool hills and valleys of rural St. Andrew. They made their way through to the lunch stop at Mavis Bank Vocational Training Center. There the crew members exchanged pleasantries and took time out to review their performances and discuss with other crews some of the interesting happenings along the way.
Lilith, how are you finding the rally so far?
It's tougher than the last one, I think. It is. The section in the river, too, was more difficult. We got stuck at one point, but we were helped.
Little difficult in spots, but enjoying it.
It was interesting. It's a form of competition regards to motorsport, which I enjoyed. And it's past this time.
How you find the route, the whole terrain and some of the rivers and things you had to go through?
Well, to be honest, it didn't seem too difficult in this section. I'm sure pace will pick up, you know, and the terrain will be far more difficult, especially going into tomorrow.
It has been fairly hard, but everybody seems to be getting through, so it's a good rally so far, challenging.
Lunch was most welcome. After lunch, it was time to hit the road once again. Some vehicles were given last-minute checks and adjustments. And the ladies made sure that they were looking good in more ways than one. With all the preparations completed, it was time for the competitors to set off on stage number 2, which would take them to Buff Bay in Portland through to Prairie in St. Anne. On our program next week, we will continue our journey with the competitors.
The presentation ceremony at which the winners will be announced will take place tomorrow night at the Life of Jamaica Auditorium. And our program over the next couple of weeks will continue to bring you highlights from this very exciting two-day event. I believe it's the first of its kind over 2 days to be held in Jamaica. When we come back, we'll be traveling over to Dover Raceway for the action-filled Thundersport 2 event, and it features Peter Moody and
Spence and Clark was the provisional leaders, and Vaz spoke about his team's chances.
How best you think you can maintain that lead going into today's final day?
I think we have a very good chance today. So far, we've been very, very calculating in terms of the instructions. One of the co-drivers in the car is actually a customer of mine who is very familiar with the rugged terrain. He lays pipes for a living, so this has really helped us a lot in terms of knowing exactly where we are, because I tell you, many times, I mean, I can't even know north, south, east, west. It's really an exciting rally. I would say we have a good chance. The team of Clive, myself, Julian and Peter, I think we're definitely something to beat.
After setting out from the town centre of Bucharest, the competitors' next major assignment was Murphy Hill, where they had to deal with some difficult terrain. Some of the drivers handled the corners very well, while others seemed to find them not so easy, and the drivers at times were called upon to give up their best. However, in the end, everyone got through without any incidents. From Murphy Hill, the competitors set out for their next checkpoint, which was at the Golden Grove roundabout. Overnight leaders, Ricky Vaz and crew, were among the early arrivals at the time check, and they were feeling quite confident of winning even at this point. On the Claremont Road leading into Monique, a speed trap was set up, and it caught nearly all the drivers.
Here's 54. Come here, come in. Radar bar, police. Number 7. 73 miles per hour. 1150 points. 3B.
This team of Paul Harris and Mark England, after being caught speeding, also missed their direction, and they went about correcting this in a most dramatic fashion.
What's the number? What's the number? 555. That's back to the door. All right. This one? Yes, good morning. What the front one was? All right, he must be in 50 and you're doing 75 miles per hour. The police are just slacking you. You are in a... Stop me, tell me. Eh? They're good, man. Yes, you have just been in a speed trap. And you have been caught at 75 miles per hour. And you have just lost 150 penalty points. And you go to court. 75. This is RC, what 3B, you know? So what about that abrupt turn? No, thank you. Moving on, Mazda.
Enfield in St. Catherine was where we next caught up with the competitors. Their task here was to tackle this steep downhill drive and then make it uphill on the other side. Here again, the skill of the drivers came into play. field, it was on to Bog Walk for a luncheon refueling stop. Noah King and his crew members had to be towed in as their vehicle lost its clutch along the way. The great Peter Moody also had problems with his vehicle, and his mechanics hastily got down to work in order to correct the problem in the shortest possible time. Lunch out of the way, vehicles refueled and serviced, the competitors set out on the final stage of the rally, which would take them to the finishing point of the Yokohama Tire Center on Constant Spring Road. At the finish, a fair-sized crowd had gathered to await the arrival of the competitors. They passed the time away talking with each other and being refreshed with Kisco fruit juices, which was the official drink of the rally. The team of Brennan, Fletcher and McDermott, driving an Isuzu Trooper, sponsored by Vehicles and Supplies, was the first to arrive at the finish. And everyone, including the officials, was ready to welcome them home. Noah King's crew made it past the finish line, minus a clutch on the vehicle. And as the vehicles drove in and were checked by the officials, none of the competitors were prepared to claim victory, as most of the fancied teams, including the overnight leaders Ricky Vaz and company, seemed to have faltered badly on the return journey. And with the driving over, competitors got together to discuss the day's activities, and it was very interesting to hear some of the stories. We spoke with Chief Organizer Rennie McDaniel and Donald Panton of the sponsors.
Rennie, we've come to the end of this rally. What's your impressions?
Well, I'm glad I'm at the end, because I'm going to sleep in my bed tonight before 1 o'clock. I think everybody had fun. That was the name of the game. I had a good time. That's about it.
It seems like it was a very well-organized rally, and I feel quite proud of sponsoring this event. Next year, of course, we'll continue sponsoring such a rally.
The winners were announced at a special presentation function later in the week.
Number 4, Daihatsu, J. McConnell, H. Hutchinson. Novices. Moody, Fennell, and Evans. Isuzu Trooper, Vaz, Moran, Spence, and Clark.
The next big event on the calendar will be the Mazda Esso Super Oil International Stages Motor Rally, which differs a little bit from this one, and this will take place over 3 days from December 6th to 8th.
The Mazda Esso Super Oil International Stages Motor Rally being held this year is the start of what is intended to be an annual event which will grow from strength to strength and become an important event in the international racing calendar. We think the timing of the rally is particularly good. It's just before the start of our tourist season. It's just at the end of the major international rallying calendar, so it fits very well into the international motorsports rallying situation, and we hope that having selected this niche, it will help in the growth of the rally in the years to come.
One of our features each night is the pit stop, and we're going there right now for a talk with Oral Wanlis, who's the head of Vehicles and Supplies Service Team, and they, of course, operated in the Yokohama 2-day rally.